Peace everybody, Sly Boogie here. I'm back featuring an Elder Scrolls Legend gameplay, and for this one is a bit different. This is just a more mid-range aggressive build than what I usually post on the channel. So the deck code will be in the description, and I'll try to actually cater this to like a, I guess, intermediate level type of explanation, because I have every card in the game, so I kind of talk like as if you have every card in the game, the listener. So just bear in mind that I'm gonna have some replacements for cards in case that you don't have access for it. But there are cards I'm gonna recommend that you actually need to have in this build to kind of make it work. So let's just run it down. The direct idea is that we want to just be aggressive from the just early game. So we are just utilizing Crown Quartermaster to just start the attack off. Usually first turn we can get it off. High Rock Summoner as our turn 2 play to kind of just bring an Atronach to the hand for play to use. Reflective Automaton is a card I feel works in here because it's of its effect to be treated as an Atronach itself, which will come in handy later. Shrieking Harpy to shackle and just provide defense, and just again to attack early on does add up, and that's kind of the name of the game. We want to have the monsters staying on the field as well, so there's some kind of built-in protection we kind of use to help swarm. Anyway, moving on. This is a card we hope not to draw early, but this is our, we want to have it in the first couple of turns with it, to be honest with you. But the effect is what's important. We want to summon an Atronach, then Flame Atronach itself costs 4. So for 5, you're getting a 2 cost body and then another 5/3 body. So for 5 Magicka, this is one hell of a card. I recommend you play this at 3 in every sense of the word. Anyway, Ward Crafter is the card that can be used for just a straight up attack, or you can use it to protect your other just high value monsters from damage. So this is something I also recommend you run at 3 because it'll just help protect you early in terms of just any guards that your opponent tries to put up. Camlone Hero's effect is very simple just for the damage it does, and again it's a very big high beat stick. So if you're going second on turn 2, you could drop this down. It's doing 2 damage, and then next turn if it's still there with no guard, you swing in for another 4. So that's 6 in total. Again, if you're doing that, again, for example, on turn 2, that's a lot of damage early on. In this build, I run 2 copies of Cunning Ally just for utility. Usually, again, as you can clearly see, there's a lot of blues. And yeah, a Firebolt just comes in handy just to kind of pick apart any unnecessary guard, or maybe it's a high attack monster that you need dead. So it just comes in handy in terms of utility. Yeah. Daggerfall Mage is another card I recommend just due to the fact that it has a ward and the fact of the alteration that it provides when it's broken. With War Commander, you can kind of reward it, and you kind of see those kind of shenanigans going on. But yeah, this is a card that can kind of provide defense. The ward of the Tome of Alteration, again, it gives you a +1 and makes your monsters stronger. So putting it on this, for example, kind of makes it a 3/3, and it just makes the attacks a little bit better and just getting you closer to the game. I tech 1 copy of Dark Rebirth. And to be honest, it is just a situational card for when it's clutch and I need to reuse an effect immediately. And to be honest, it's something for like Belligerent Giant, Alfie Conjurer, kind of the big cards that I can, whose effects I can reuse. Or if my card gets silenced or something of that nature, then I can go ahead and just reset it with the fresh Dark Rebirth. So that's what I tech 1 copy in there for, just for that kind of situation. And if I can do quick damage to you, I'll Dark Rebirth this as well, just to kind of do that additional 2 damage to your face and get game. So that's the utility that this card has. Breton Conjurer is where I guess the power of the deck really starts to shine when his ward is broken. As you can clearly see, we got a 5/5 action out with guard. I skipped over Rapid Shot because this is something that I used to kind of usually pick at my opponent, make the defense a little bit weak or maybe get rid of their ward, but I also can pop my own wards with it. Also, just keep in mind, Cunning Ally, the Firebolt that you draw in the hand, you can also pop ward with it, and again, you get the effect. You can put the ward back on and then reuse the effect, so that's kind of where the shenanigans come into play. Your opponent should be smart enough to kind of silence it, but what I like to do is activate Rapid Shot, put the guard on the field, and then they're going to have to deal with the guard, and they usually forget about that, so then you can reward it again. So it just creates that kind of shenanigans where it forces your opponent to kind of choose which card they want to deal with, for lack of a better term. Anyway, moving on, I keep Garnog in here for just if it gets late game. This is why I feel like this is like a part 1 type build, because I feel like there's different variations of it. But for this variation, I don't want it to be, you know, turn 10, 11, and I'm kind of getting close, and then you can start to kind of build up. So I slapped this on the field to limit how much you can do on your next turn, just so I can kind of get closer to, you know, it's just getting the game. So Lightning Bolt, I feel like it's a staple. I feel like as like running this, you have to run 3. This is a prophecy. You do 4 damage to whether your opponent or the creature. And it's just, again, it's 4 direct damage, and it'll help you in terms of an aggro build. It'll help you in any sense of the situation. If you have a guard blocking away, if you just need to do quick damage to your opponent, anything of that nature to kind of get you closer. Staple. Royal Sage, I put 2 copies here because of the effect where, you know, I'm thinking about the fact that I'm summoning a lot of low cost cards early on, and right now their attack is 2, nothing too crazy. But if I can, you know, maybe have 2 or 3, and then I can slap some keywords on it like drain, lethal, ward, etc., that'll make the cards a bit more powerful and more difficult to deal with. And again, we can pretty much game you early because of that. I would recommend you run this at 3 just due to the utility that these cards have. Like for Breton Conjurer, I also recommend you run that at 3, just the way this build is based. Like this is ward, it gives it straight 4 attacks, so any card can kind of benefit from that in terms of if this ward is broken, I can slap it on it. Now he'll be a 5/1 with the same effect. Even just the small cards, they just have so much now. Like they just have more punch if you have that, and it has ward, so it's like you're gonna have to deal with it regardless. In terms of getting rid of the ward, then getting rid of the monsters, so it's just an essential card to have around. As a replacement card, I can recommend that you use Mace of Encumbrance in case you don't have Sentinel Battle Axe available. It'll shackle a creature, and this is a less common. What I mean is Sentinel Battle Mage is purple, and this is a blue, so it'll be cheaper to make. Yeah, has an alternative. And if this is not available, the only other card I could recommend. Pardon me on that. So if you don't have Mace of Encumbrance available, the only card I could recommend after that would be Tome of Alteration. I think having some items in here would kind of just boost your low attack monsters overall, and this can give you some utility. But if you're able to aim for Mace of Encumbrance, I'd probably recommend that to just kind of shackle and attack over it. Or again, Sentinel Battle Mage is just better because you'll get the ward and you can decide whether you want to attack it directly or attack over it. Your opponent's gonna have to deal with you regardless. So yeah, let us move back on. All right, so moving on, we going on to Underworld Vigilante. This is a card I feel like running at 3 is fire due to the fact that I want to kind of close out the game, and this has charge. More to the point, if I want to play defensively, like if my opponent is putting cards in the shadow lane, I can go ahead and just put this down there to either try to attack it. Like for example, something with drain. I don't want nobody draining. I feel like that's a weakness or a hindrance to what I'm trying to do. So if I see you put a drain in the shadow lane, I'll expose it with Vigilante, and then hopefully I can punch it right in the face and kill it. Yeah, that's pretty much what it's good for. We either swinging for game or exposing my enemies kind of surprise little drains that they think they can kind of, you know, surprise cards that they think of hide in the shadow lane. Anyway, Alfie Contra is definitely the key boss monster. I do recommend you have this card at 3. I feel like the deck is significantly weaker without it. The base effect alone of just having an Atronach plus a 3/3 guard is valuable, but I like to use this effect when the Atronach is already in the grave. And bringing it back to the early conversation about Reflective Automaton, his effect allows him to be a creature as Atronach as well as his effect. So I usually can remove him and I'll get a 7/5 Atronach with ward, which is significantly better than just a 5/3 Atronach with breakthrough. 7/5 ward is very difficult to get in the field, and obviously you don't want that punching you in the face directly, especially if you combine the fact that I can put some items on it to even make it stronger. So it's like you want to be called, you want to use this at its full value is what I'm trying to say in terms of having this in the deck at 3. Like obviously if you have no other options, of course you're gonna throw it down, but you want to utilize the effect at the fullest ability. Anyway, moving on. Belligerent Giant I keep at 3 because of the swarm effect. It's a high attack monster and it can unsummon a creature. Now what I mean by that is obviously you can put your opponent's creature back, which is very valuable if they have like a guard or a ward or something of that nature, or a drain, you know, something that you just don't need them to have on the field. But more to the point, you can also unsummon your own monsters in the lane. So if you, I'm gonna get to him later, but let's say I have a Royal Sage in the field and I have Belligerent Giant. Not that I would recommend you do this, but you can unsummon it back to the lane and then resummon it for next turn. But it just gives you a lot of utility. It has breakthrough, so if it survives the field and even if there's a guard, it's gonna punch through anyway. So it'll do damage on its way out. There's just a lot of utility this card has, and that's before you start utilizing other cards you have on the field with it. But moving on to one of the other key cards, and this is my recommendation at 3, just due to the way the deck is set up. Mighty Conjuring is a card that will put a Lava Atronach, a 8/8 breakthrough with guard and ward. And I feel like that is one of the most viable effects that you can, like one of the most powerful monster types you can put, like most power types. It's a powerful monster that you can put on the field at turn 7. It's very easy to kind of put on the field when you think about the fact that you can have a Atronach at turn 4. In terms of the Flame Atronach, Temple Conjurer will bring one at turn 5. Breton, you see where I mean? Like in terms of having a attack monster with 5 on the field, this is very easy to get off. And again, having an 8/8 guard with ward is tough. That is difficult to deal with unless you have a javelin or something of that nature. That is just powerful. Again, this is, I have to be honest with you, there is no other card I could recommend that you replace with that. Like, I feel like Mighty Conjuring 7 is just fire. If you can get that effect off, especially if it's like going second on turn 6, you slap that down, it is just difficult to just deal with, at least for the most part. And Onkano is the last card I recommend. This is a card that you can get in the starter pack, so this is something I believe that everyone should be able to have access to. Definitely recommend you getting all the starter packs if you have not already, just to kind of have access to all the cards for later use. Feel like that should go without saying, but in case you didn't know. Anyway, moving on to Onkano, this is just the boss monster of the deck. I feel this is the card that you slap down when it's almost game over or it's about to game over, or if this card can pretty much give you game. He's a human lightning bolt that does 5 damage. His extra effect of giving every other action breakthrough is actually not primary in this build, to be honest with you. There's no other actions that can really do a lot of damage. Like, again, I'm not running Unstoppable Rage in this kind of build, like not in its variation, I should say. So we're simply using it for the summon effect, and at the most part we put him down when it's game over. Turn 8, turn 7, whenever we do get a chance to drop him, we're pretty much closing this out, and that's the idea. And now just going off to the strength for the deck is, overall the deck is just very fast. You can start from turn 1 just pretty much, attacking and just setting up that offense. Your opponent needs to have cards to deal with this. If they're a kind of deck that's slow and it takes them maybe 2 to 3 turns, you can take advantage of 2 to 3 turns and have them down to maybe 20. Break 2 runes, do 10 health, and it's like from turn 4 or 5, if you're keeping up the assault, your opponent can't really catch up to that unless they have a card that can literally clear the field, such as Ice Storm or Immolating Blast, something of that nature. And again, they have to have it in their hand, so the odds of that, again, luck, you can't really do nothing about that, but you see what I mean. The cards have ward, so it just makes it difficult unless your opponent is silencing a lot of cards. They have to kind of attack it head on, and your cards benefit from the effects going off when their wards are broken. So you can play around with it, but your opponent is forced to kind of deal with it if they're not able to kind of silence it or move over it. So this is a deck that just demands attention. Like, your opponent's going to be scrambling to try to deal with every card you put in the field, because they know that you're pretty much putting a mouse on the field per turn. So they need to find a way to catch up and kind of take control. And that's where the aggro comes in, where they just can't keep up with the pressure. You have Lightning Bolt to just slow down, knock out any problem cards, to just do more additional damage to your opponent. Or if your opponent, is actually trying to rush you and you break a prophecy, you slow them down with this card. And that's pretty much what Lightning Bolt does. Slows your opponent down or hurts them really hard where it hurts, in terms of, if you have like 8 health or 5 health, less than 10 health. And it's like, it gets you just closer to game. You're just putting, oh, I'm sorry, did I skip over Merrick? I definitely believe I did. This has got to be like the superstarter deck. So when you have a full lane of cards, this is pretty much what you slap on the field to pretty much, I mean, it's a crapshoot in terms of what items you get, but you're usually getting an attack boost. I'd have to say, bare minimum, you usually get +2 attack on every monster. So this is just helping you swing for game. And and I'm talking about the bare minimum items that you get. If you really get some dope equip cards on it, it's over at that point. Even if your opponent has little life left, you're usually looking at what? I put this on the field with at least 2 monsters. So you got 3 high attack monsters. Merrick himself is in the shadow lane waiting for next turn. It's like, again, if I'm able to get Belligerent Giant on top of that and unsummon it, it's demoralizing for your opponent. Like, if he's not able to kind of counteract that and he knows you're going to do it again, he's going to concede. It's just, you don't need those kind of shenanigans. And Merrick is just capable of doing that. Merrick creates shenanigans, and that's why he's just OP and unique. His low attack is obviously a draw, like a con, I should say, but you're supposed to use him when you have a full lane. If you have 3 monsters in the lane, you slap him down and every single monster benefits from it. Where it's like, he could be a 7/7 and it wouldn't matter. Every other monster is it's the benefits that he provides every other monster that you summon him with that makes him valuable. Anyway, now that we need to, obviously Mighty Conjuring goes without saying, but it's kind of the same as Incarno. These are your end gamers right here. Once you get to the 7 mark, 6 mark, this is what you put when it's time to just game over your opponent. Your opponent usually is so weak from all of this to where, yeah, they can't really do anything to stop that. That's the theme. So in terms of that, let's talk about like ranked in terms of the weaknesses. As the weaknesses of the deck are the fact that it's weak. Like, they have 1 defense. Guard is something that I do not want to deal with. I have Ward to kind of protect against it, to kind of survive for that turn, but a general guard-based deck is going to give me problems. I have low defense, so Goblins, for example, in terms of like weakening me by 1/1, they'll kill it. Regardless of the ward, which is also important. You lower this by 1/1, it bypasses the ward effect and simply destroys it. If you silence it, or like Sorcerer's Negation, cards like this are negated. So you have a little bit of wiggle room for certain cards, but again, you think about Execute. Jack Ball Remains, a powerful card, but Execute, Sorcerer's Negation, things like that can easily kill it. So you got to be cautious with a very defense-oriented deck. Like, you're weak to it. And drain, you don't want your opponent draining on you. If you break your opponent's rune, like you get them to 10 health, for example, and they get a huge health boost and you're not able to kind of like swing back and take it back down, your opponent can pretty much mount a counterattack and just survive your onslaught and then just take control and kill you. So you need to be quick, fast, and make sure your opponent's not able to kind of regain their health or kind of launch any sort of counterattack. So you're going to see some of that in the next couple of videos. And of course, at the end, you're going to see a kind of high ranked match with someone in the top 100. I feel like I'm gonna try to end every video with that, like a real high ranked match, so you can really see the build at its like full potential. Because a person in like the top 100 he's not gonna make no mistake. He or she, a person is not gonna make any mistakes. So you're gonna really see the deck really showcase how dope it is, and pretty much know how valuable it is to just bring it to ranked play. Like, you probably have some similar results or make some modifications. For example, a Cradle Crush Giant, in terms of incorporating him with the build for another variation. But again, I'm working on that, so that's just something I've been checking with. All right. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. It's going to be some dope matches, so definitely let me know what you feel about it. Let me know what cards you'd actually put in, or if you disagree with some of the choices I've made. Again, it's like a part 1. I feel like I'm going to make a part 2 to this with a different variation in the future, but that'll come in time. But yeah, definitely let me know what your thoughts, everybody. And if you've been feeling the content, as you already know, please subscribe, because we're going to definitely have more in the future. Be safe, y'all. Yeah. All right, looks like the 800 evenly ranked series. Oh God, we falling so far back. Anyway, let's get a good game in. Not sure I got a good game with this hand, but we're gonna try to make it work.
Greetings, citizen.
We're gonna try to make it work. We definitely got Reflective of Time. And in case you don't know, his effect works in the discard pile. So Alfie Conjure will definitely be able to utilize that, because he's technically an Atronach, as he has all creature types. So anyway, a little trivia in case you guys didn't know that. This guy procs his effect, and they kind of go hand in hand. Anyway, let us, well, we really can't do nothing to it, so, I mean, yeah, I'm not too pressed on it right now. Skivas in ranks. I ain't gonna lie, I've been thinking about making a build like that. Working on that. But as you see, I got priorities. I need to kind of get myself a little higher up right now. This is a very weird deck so far. Let's just rush him and not give him any opportunities to get anything started. And this is perfect to kind of set that off. I feel like I'm gonna have to save Royal Sage and just get straight to it. I don't need, like, they're small. That's why I don't care about them getting keywords. Now, depending on what he puts in this lane, or if he, assuming that they still alive, I'll then put Royal Sage over Alfeek, since Atronach's not even in the graveyard to begin with. See what I mean? Like that shit, I'll go ahead and put Royal Sage in the field. Maybe one of them and get lethal.
I see you're in need of my wisdom.
Ain't that some bitch? But this will help in terms of the ward. Yeah, and these are L's that we'll take right here, and the breakthrough. Just for a little extra sugar on that, take a little one off. So we good. The ward here should be able to ward off anything stupid he puts again. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't have this ready, but I definitely have. Yeah, one thing at a time. Let's do it. Let's really put the pressure on him. Really show him what this deck is about. Let him really stop fucking around and really get to work. Now let's get it. This is really the main gist of it. To be honest, you want to get these out as soon as possible. Your opponent has to put something strong down to counter it. Not enough. Not enough. And I'm gonna hurt his feelings now. I'm actually summoning this. Let me actually attack that first. Summon that. Not worrying about any prophecies like lightning bolt, nothing like that. If he has Fell the Mighty, he'll play it on one of these. If he has it. And I have game here, as you can see.
I feel a storm coming. If I fall,
at the end of the day, this is just a big ass. These are just big ass attack monsters, and you have to address these guys. This is not enough. Like, I'm not even. It's a different pace than when I'm playing Telvanni or something like that, because I'll care about killing your monsters, but not here. I don't give a fuck. Part of my French.
This one is in no mood.
And that's game. We out of here. This is not like, if you see me at turn 12 with this, something's wrong. And that's the idea. Like, this is quick, fast pace, faster paced gameplay is what I can say. I've definitely had opponents that can pretty much game you in 5 turns. Like, Relentless Raider is a card that I feel like it's going to take me time to really showcase and like really put off. Like that card is OP, but you got to really play it correctly. You can't fuck that card up. Anyway, that's just my rant on that. I need to stop saying rant. Seriously. Unnecessarily negative word. Anyway. Oh, we definitely can't have the #1 coming into Legends right now. I got to block that. Anyway, let's see if I can get that accomplished. Definitely a better hand than before, so that's a good thing right off the rip.
Greetings, citizen.
Oh, let me also end turn.
Welcome, friend. Careful there, friend.
We're going to go ahead and start getting our offensive. Depending on what he puts, we'll put either Cunning Ally or Camelon Hero to kind of get aggressive. We want to just punch his face in, and yeah, exactly that. Keep the pressure right on him. Idea is you're never going to let up with this build. Yep. And if your opponent's not able to kind of just get their footing in the first 3 turns, a significant advantage. Now, what do I want to do here? And I feel like I'm just thinking about my turn 5 play. I could definitely push, but I'm just overexposing myself. I should play some defense anyway, so go ahead and put that there. I feel like a turn 5 play, I have some more flexibility. I probably should have rushed it, but I'm gonna have the opportunity to do it next turn anyway. There's no way he's playing. There's no 4-cost card that can clear this entire field. So yeah, I'll sacrifice that. I'll be able to hit him hard now. Yeah, let me first do that. Just making sure. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Now we'll put some pressure on them. More than likely, I'll rebirth Wardcrafter in case he does something to that, but yeah, I'm not too pressed on shit like that. Okay. Singleton. The plot thickens. Huh. So, yeah, I definitely smell a wounded coming for this. I feel like this is going to die. This is wasteful to kind of put it on the field now, but yeah, I feel like that's an L I'm going to have to take. But just to be on the safe side, let me also put this down. I feel like Belligerent's about to make his appearance next turn versus Mighty Conjurer being played. On the other side, I don't mind you joining next card. That ain't too, you know what? Yeah, I might be reneging on that. I'm going to smack his face. I'm so glad I put this Harpy down. That was smart on my part. Get that bullshit out the way. I don't have to waste no cards on it. Anyway, let me go hurt his feelings. I will definitely give him some cards. I'll go ahead and put this down. Regardless of whether he like Dark Rebirths it or not, I'm gonna punch his face in so hard it's not gonna be worth the effort. He has to address these monsters, hands down. He could, like, literally, he can activate this effect again. It's still not gonna be enough. This is why aggro is kind of like, ooh, nice.
I apologize. A fine battle.
Hey, whoop. I didn't mean to do that. And we out here. Straightforward and aggressive. You just, it's what you do. Anyway, yeah, we can't be having level ones just coming in here like that. You gotta work a little harder, because I don't know what that Daedra that he had. That 8-course Daedra, nah, he wasn't gonna play that over here, bro. Nah. Anyway, let's keep that going. We're just moving it up. As you see, there's just like a couple of quick wins. I'm trying to see if I get like 5 wins really fast to really just showcase how like powerful and just aggressive a mid-range kind of build is. Like it's it's a bit of a slow setup on the early side, but by turn 3-4, like we're pretty much in punching position. 6-7, you almost out the game. Like we have you, like, just as you can see, it's like it's very little that you can do on 6-7. Like my opponent can maybe get rid of 1 monster, maybe 2, but it's like I'm still going to be taking a lot of damage to you, putting a lot of damage to your face. So it's just aggressive, as you're going to clearly see.
Greetings, citizen.
Now I do like rapid shot. Like what I like to do is actually just kind of trigger my own wards and just break them, and just get a 5/5 giant on the field. And I have Wardcrafter, hopefully I draw it, just to kind of put the ward back on to reuse the effect. So there's a little bit of shenanigans in terms of the potential. Yeah, whatever. That moves. Yeah, sure.
By the fires of oblivion.
I'm looking at that just because on the field by itself it's not doing shit, but I'm trying to see how it combos it. He plays the Edict on that. Okay. I like that. Ooh, that makes me feel nice. Go ahead and just I'm kind of curious to see what he wants to play on that. I mean, it is kind of rear exposing it, but I got a turn 5 play, so it's like, and not to mention, we definitely just redrew the 6 turn play. Yeah, don't you worry, we gonna get that some attention soon enough. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, you thought you slick doing that shit. Fair enough. One moment. All right, if your opponent doesn't damage you on their turn, okay. This guy thinks this is the kind of shenanigans I need to see played. Okay. I will absolutely damage you, sir. That is not an issue. Oh, don't worry. We're going to give you some attention next turn. You think you about to just stay by yourself. You good. Don't you worry about it. Oh shit, he actually got healed. He's bugging. I'm gonna definitely activate the ward ASAP now. Not even gonna risk having to do that again. Yep, this is also perfect. All right, let's calm it down because that was a serious misplay on his end, and we're gonna take advantage of that. Why the fuck would this guy get silenced? Anyway, okay, let us do that. Ah, so much better. Okay,
You are not worthy.
yeah, you see where I'm going with this, right? I'm just chilling. I could put this here and block that, which kind of seems smart. I mean, I've already damaged him. I'm trying to think of how he's playing right now. He's definitely trying to gain health. I'm trying to think about how I should fuck with him. Yeah. Should fuck with him like that. And just to kind of be on the safe side, let's really get active. Yeah, let's just, I get the fuck out of there with this card. I got tight seeing this shit. I'd never see this shit in rank play. I'm not having this activate. Get out of here. You gonna get damaged every turn, sir. You better do something about this shit. Nah, that ain't it, bro.
I stand with weapons ready.
That might be it.
We'll go at nightfall.
This is I usually don't see this. Well, let me not complain. I don't know what he doing with all this shit. Anyway, we got 7. I'm gonna save that.
Let's shed some light.
Yeah, that's awful. Let's get rid of some nonsense real quick. There we go. Bonk. 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 There we go. That hurts. That hurts. 15 on this side. That's yeah. That ain't it. Yeah. Bonk. Trying to think if I should actually just, well, I already got 5 on it. But I do, there's part of me that wants to put the ward back on is what I'm trying to say, but obviously this is the smarter play. Yeah, and that's game over. That's checkmate. Immolate and Blast don't even save him. I'll still have enough to kind of swing. There's nothing that gets him out of this. And that's why aggressive decks is just so OP broken. It's like there's literally no card that you can play. Like Dawn's Wrath don't even save you. You know what I mean? Like he's fucked. And in essence, this is like the counter argument to like the long range decks. Like I know that there's players who feel like New Era, Dawn's Wrath, and all that is just, you know, like OP in their own right. Like it just clears too much and just really stops your plays. But aggressive decks, like when they get going, you need to have specific cards in the hand, or you lose. Like if you ice, like Telvanni for example, if I don't have Ice Storm in my hand for an aggressive deck, that's it. There's nothing I could do. Game over. Yeah, I think the end of the game, at the end of the day, this game does need a bit more patches in terms of balancing some of the cards. Like Ice Storm, I feel like maybe that should be a 5-cost card versus 6, just because of how quickly you can swarm the field.
Greetings, citizen.
And we just need some more cards in general. At least I do.
Watch yourself now.
I like to see some cards like a Combat Invade, or just give other decks like maybe Goblins a bit more variety and depth, you know, that kind of shit. And also introduce new archetypes. There's one color combination that's not available. I guess it wasn't like just it wasn't released as part of the expansion. But anyway, yeah, I'm feeling pretty.
Gotta go through him first.
I like having her in the deck just to kind of give me some options. Like I'm always gonna have a monster that can summon, which is always a great thing. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Now we got options going in the next turn depending on like how our opponent's trying to come at us. Like, yeah, we gonna see what's going on here now. Okay. That's definitely a misplay. I feel like I can take advantage of that. Damn, I want to put her on the field, but I like having multiple monsters for the effect to kind of go off. If he Ice Storms this, I'll live with it, to be honest with you. That's just the clutch play that he can do right now, but I'd be alright. Nah, that ain't the clutch play though, my G. Can I take advantage of this though? I feel like I can take advantage of Royal Sage next turn, but definitely I can utilize him not being able to have access to drain, which I feel is important. I feel like he should not have that.
You are not worthy.
I know it's kind of a waste, but we're denying him drain, which I feel is important. And what can we do here? I'm trying to say my thanks. Okay.
My fight is done.
Oh, okay. I'll take that too. I don't want to say basic. I feel like that's a bad word to kind of describe it, but it's very direct in terms of the strategy. Like, as you can clearly see, like, the strategy is very straightforward. Just summon the monsters, attack. Not really caring about, like, the turn placement and all that. I want to kind of, if I can, I put all the monsters on the field as quickly as possible. Like, that last game of Royal Sage, like, I didn't want to activate her just because, you know, I wanted to make sure that when the effect goes off, a lot of monsters kind of benefit from it, you know? But that's just my personal preference. And a mirror match too. This should be dope. I feel like he's got that one cost equip card off the rip, which is great.
My friend would like to say hello.
That's good. That's actually very good. We get that on the turn, maybe turn 3. Yeah, I'm not too pressed on that. Let's see what we get here. Yeah. What are you thinking about? What am I thinking about? Yeah, I'll just. I feel like is it lazy? You know what? I do need some. I'm gonna break this next turn. What am I doing? Let me actually get some cards in here. What's going on here? All right, I can live with that. He might be trying to take a big ass swing too with his monsters, so I'll be cautious of this fool going forward. Yeah, it's light. I'll definitely make use of this now. Thank you very much. Cool. All right. Yeah. We have to actually sacrifice the turn on that though. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste this. I will actually wait. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Because I would absolutely just play extra 3 to get an Atronach on the field. I feel like this is a staple. You always run this at 3. As a 5-turn play, this is phenomenal, and I could do something with that next turn. Anyway, I got 5 again, and he's putting this bullshit on the field. Do I care about this fool drawing? That's the question I'm trying to ask myself right now. I don't.
Your blood will strike you.
Knock yourself out, my man. We here. And I absolutely don't mind drawing a card if you don't mind. I'm swinging, boy. Dog, I'm swinging. Dog, I do not mind drawing a card. Yo, first chance I get, I'm dropping everything on this fucking field. I'm done with this guy already. There's a reason why I didn't play the Certain Thief, because I was thinking to myself, like, yo, I don't really care about pilfering. I just care about just getting, like, just attack and just setting up. Like, I don't care what you discard. And I hope I draw a lightning bolt. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I like this plot already. My man is trying to get set up for next turn. That's not happening here. You're not going to get no chance to put no items on these fools. All right. Okay. Okay. Big balling on that play. Okay. Cool. Now you show up. Whatever. How do we want to just combat this fool? Clearly. Obviously, we're going to probably just dump you there. I'm trying to think if I should preserve that ward. Or maybe just try a whole new approach altogether and maybe swarm the field. You know what? Play a little smarter than that. Let's hurt his feelings a little bit. Yeah. Now I'll give you a little bit of company. And now we can set up for next turn. He's definitely going to address the shit out of this card. No doubt about it. But we got some surprises coming in soon. That ain't it, my G. That ain't it either. I mean, that's a good play, but... Ooh, I like when people do that. That means that he's desperate. Let's go ahead and, what do you want to... Oh, well, you know what? Let's slow it down for a little bit. We got 7, 8. Let's go ahead and press that real quick on them. Yeah, we want to save these for when it's like clutch. Really game over. All right, let's first get you. Thank you.
Don't underestimate me.
Okay. Definitely shackle this fool. Get that out the way. What else we gonna do here? Get that attack off. Now, feel like you guys, look lovely here, but you use a little bit of attention. Yeah, I feel like that'll give you, make you look a little bit more spruced up. You know, side looks a bit more formidable now. You know, definitely gonna want to address this shit. It's over. Ice Storm is the only thing that's gonna get him out of this.
We must protect our stronghold.
That ain't it. Now you see why aggressive decks are just OP. Like, look at this shit. I feel bad for him. Like, I would never play shit like this. This is when you know shit is desperate. Anyway, close this out real quick.
Foul-breathed imbecile. There's no the hunter becomes the hunter.
I feel kind of bad. Even though that lightning bolt of mine, my person didn't really make sense. But anyway. See if I can end it on a higher note than that. I feel like my opponent kind of gave up, but I don't blame him. That shit was just, what the fuck do you do? And I definitely feel like there's options for like improvement. Like, I don't run Cradle Crush Giant, but I'm really thinking I should. I need to actually I'm gonna probably make a part 2 to this, because I'm actually thinking about how Cradle Crush Giant is just OP, but as you can clearly see, I don't really need to summon that. But I definitely feel like I need to get Sage in a better line of attack. I think I'm gonna keep Harpy in the hand for this one, just to kind of get aggressive, have another monster to join. Yep. Go ahead and get this thing started early.
Greetings, citizen.
Yeah, we don't.
Keep a spare blade in my boot.
Not trying to be friendly here. We just trying to get things done. Yep.
Do your worst. Careful there, friend.
We ain't trying to have no questions or conversations here. We just trying to go to work and attack. F you, but okay. Yep.
Underestimate me.
That was a misplay in terms of the not utilizing the dagger, but I'm not in the mood to break a rune anyway. Yeah, I'll put it in a Harpy. Give it some attention. And then we're going to definitely have Sage come in. Hopefully we can get some cards on top of that. Or we just put a battle axe on somebody and go to work. Depends on how we respond. If he puts no monsters on the field, I'm absolutely fucking... Oh, I was about to say, don't fuck around and play with me and not put a monster on the field. Oh, shit. All right, let's see. Hopefully we get a ward on a Harpy, but... Actually... I feel like that's actually a better play. Yeah.
Do your worst. My friend would like to say hello.
Yeah. I know that's a slower play than usual, but I am thinking about just getting the most out of these effects.
I keep a spare blade in my
Yeah, and I feel like we can now try to push in a little bit better. Because he has no defensive card. He's just strictly attack card. So right now we have the advantage and we're going to keep it just like that. And
Scald pox.
I just realized we don't, I don't need the Atronach. I actually want it dead so I can activate this, but Royal Sage is now going to be effective coming into next turn. We have to use it. He's going to put a lot of attack on that, which I don't mind. Just trying to think if it's worth it. Yeah. Going to put a lot of attack on it. Get himself right back in the game with that. But at the same time, cards he has in his hand. 9? Yeah, let's I feel like we kind of
All power flows from the gods.
I see you're in need of my wisdom.
That's what I was looking for. That's insurance. Thank you. And, I'm sorry, was that drain? Okay. That actually fucks me up a little bit, but because I won't be able to draw an additional card, but if he's not able to kind of clear the field, I can push in hard regardless of how much attack he puts on top of it. Even if he squishes. Okay. Where's he going? That's a good play. If he attacks again, that's definitely formidable. But I'm going to still be able to come back to him. And, feel like I need to now save that. Which is okay. We got what we needed in terms of rally, so we're going to be able to just take our time now. He has no mosses, and we still draining, so it's a short-term loss, long-term gain. He has no mosses in the field, and we can easily kind of take our time now. And who do I want to kind of join with you?
Let's do this.
I think now we can start to slowly set up on him. He threw away. Well, we was able to make him drop a squish. He used the squish, and this was his big play. Now he needs to either set that up again. Like, that's not enough. That's not enough. You'll get the cards back, but I'm gonna give you so much cards in your hand you won't have to worry about that. I'm gonna punch him right in his face with all this shit. Oh, he thirsty. He thirsty. I hope I can get him to silence that or send it back to his hand. As a matter of fact, there is my 5-cost lady. I'm hoping I draw that so I'll break some. Well, let me actually, yeah, that'll be helpful. But let's just think on some things right now. It is possible he can have Unstoppable Rage too, so I'm definitely gonna probably drop this down, maybe slow things up a little bit. But anyway, let's yeah.
You are not worthy.
I have you now.
Keep the drain up. Now let's really talk to him in a bit of a different way. Let's first get you here.
By the 8th, they will meet their maker.
Feel like that might be the misplay right there. Do I care if he has 8 right now? I mean, even if he rages, I'm actually pretty good. So let's actually just shackle that. I mean, he can't play red here. What else can he play right now? He could play. I mean, it's an item deck. I'm really expecting to have everything to kind of stop this. Now we out here. If he can clear it, he can clear it. But to be honest with you, this is just checkmate. Because I'm definitely at the like this is gonna definitely come in handy. To be honest with you, as the turns pass, so I'm gonna cripple him eventually once I can like really. Only reason why I didn't play it earlier is because I just wasn't able to silence it, like Unstoppable Rage or another squish, you know, shit like that can make things problematic. But shit like that, I'm cool with. You can definitely get rid of this, but again, I'm cool with that. I'm gonna use that, and yeah, we'll just push and forget from there.
A A fine battle.
There's nothing that he can do with two costs that's gonna help him out here. Even Squish don't get you out of this shit. He's wildin'. Fuck's the purpose of that?
The battle is yours. I thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, I feel like this deck is very straightforward in just how it attacks. I haven't had like a Telvanni kind of matchup yet, but this should be a great way to end up on it. Let's see what we can do against someone in the top 100 with this. And let's really, I'm going first. I feel like I need to also prep for the long game. Yeah. I don't want to throw away Breton Conjurer right now. I want to keep that in the hand. Show some respect to the opponent. And let's get to work.
I keep a spare blade in my boot.
There's a plan. There's always a plan.
Don't underestimate me.
Careful there, friend.
You won't foil my plan.
Definitely a good counterplay. Definitely gain 2 on that as well. Gonna have to just play. Yeah, got no option on this turn. So we definitely gonna drop Breton Conjurer since we picked up another one. We need that immediately. And he's definitely hopefully not countering everything. All right, see what he wants to do here.
Face me, you
Yeah. Breton Conjurer gotta be the play you put over here. I can definitely do something with the next turn, but to be honest with you, that Risen Dead on top of the Broom of Profiteer counted me. Not only did he gain back the 2 health, but he put 2 guards in the field. I'm actually gonna keep this in the hand. I can get rid of that. But if he keeps putting more guard up, I'm gonna have some issues. I feel like that's not something I need to be dealing with right now. Guard is actually an enemy of this deck.
Your coin or your life. Choose.
That I can work with. Slow it down a little bit. Get that on the field. I'm trying to think if I should return that favor. Yeah, put it on the same side. Repeat process. Let's get it. You're going to slowly try to catch up from here because I'm very curious on what his defense is like right at this stage. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'm cool with that. Let's definitely break. Let's put another one down, and now we'll RP that. Now we can start going to the next turn and start really working on him a little bit. Yeah, let's get the plays on the field, boy. Yeah. All right. We can absolutely kind of fuck with him on that. Really try to like disrespect him a little bit on this play. Feel like, yeah, this get a bit of aggressive on him. Get that out the way. Bang. These are all 1s, so I feel like we can. Hold on, let me actually address this side first. What we got here? Yeah, I feel like that makes sense. I mean, he's only going to utilize this for the effect. So do I really care about attacking that? Fuck no. Pardon me for a second. Go ahead and add that shit, my guy. I don't what the fuck.
All too simple.
Now, how do I really? I feel like I should rapid shot right now, but the fuck am I saying? Rapid shot, of course. We got him next turn. We could fuck with him next turn if he's not able to clear this. We got him. Oh shit, it don't even matter. You give him boost, it still won't get past this. What's gonna fuck with him when I put the ward back on one of these motherfuckers? Ooh boy, yep, you need a little bit more for that. You need some more for that. If you got a second one, I know I'd be impressed. You play a second one. Because that's just one hell of a clutch play. Like, even I can't see that shit coming. I didn't think he was running a skeleton deck, to be honest with you. I should have actually peeped that when he did this shit, but whatever. Yeah, we're gonna definitely put the ward back on so we could fuck with him some more. We have to sacrifice the attack to do that though. You know what? I'm not gonna do that. He's distracting me. Let me think about this differently. If I put the war back on, I won't be able. You know what? I think it a 6, 11. That'll put me at 5. Yeah. Yeah, I'm bugging. I have it. I'm bugging. I'm overthinking shit. I am overthinking shit. We've been had them. Been had them. And yeah, we could definitely end on that. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay, y'all. Again, mid-range aggressive Atronachs. Get in, get out, like a robbery.